saying we should make a TikTok.
I don't know what the hell we would put on there, though. I
put that kind of
guess.
stuff.
Oh.
Don't you know the meta? You take somebody's random GTA car driving custom games trick gameplay and you just put podcast talk over it.
Is that actually what it is?
That's legitimately what I find.
Well, you answered the question I was about to have, is what the hell would the visual be?
There you go.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but hey, I don't know if it works. I don't know how well those podcasts are doing, but they get a lot of likes.
I mean, we do the thing that everyone else
No,
does.
see, this is how what we do is we just take a clip from our Critical Crusade episodes and then just have that.
There you go.
Yeah, well, no. I mean, if we want to be really legit, we just kind of do this thing. We do that thing that they do on TikTok. We just do that thing they do on TikTok, where it's just like a wall of text. It's just like, it's like how to tell that your dog is dying, and it's just like
somebody fucking dancing.
It's just us like dancing.
For those of you who can't see, Matt just broke it down sexual style.
Yeah, I broke it down.
But is he goated with the sauce? Have you seen those videos?
No. Have you ever seen? There's an old video I remember back in the dark days.
Back in ye olden days.
Back in the dark times. So I was on one of those shitty Discord servers that I left, and I was playing Witcher 3 at the time, but I was in a call, and somebody played a video that was like a compilation of this guy named Tyrone who would just walk up to people.
Oh yeah,
and
hi, I'm Tyrone,
and I'm about to fuck this man's wife, long dick style.
Yes,
and then they play like
yes,
and then occasionally like someone would be like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And they'd like square up.
He did other ones too, that besides just like fucking some dude's wife. I think he's done like I don't even know what he said. He said other things besides that.
This isn't the Byron guy, is it?
No. You're talking. No, this is a long time ago.
Okay.
You're talking about Joe Byron. You're talking about like the Coney Island dude from TikTok. This was before TikTok was created.
Oh, okay.
What about that guy that's?
This is probably before Vine. I think. I don't even know. Or maybe it was Vine.
What about that guy who you guys were like imitating for a while, where you're just like, you're not that guy, bud. You're not that kind of guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
What?
Hey, pal. You're not that guy. Pal.
What was that? What was the origin of that? Was he
some
like
dude in a fucking grocery store? I don't know what was going on. Bless you.
Was it like a dude who wasn't wearing a mask or something like that?
Maybe? I don't know. It was a dude in a grocery store. The guy was videotaping. I can't remember what he was even saying.
You're not that guy, pal.
I remember the guy that was the aggressor was coming up to the camera going, "You're not that guy, pal." And he was like, I don't know. The way he was saying it was so dumb.
Because I saw like a gif of that moment and on Discord the other day, and I was like,
"What pronounced GIF?"
Shut up.
Go fuck yourself.
Hey, listen.
I don't care what the creator said.
Of GIF, which by the way he died, is
Did he?
Yeah, he died recently, actually, like the last couple months. He said it was GIF, and he took that to the grave. But I'm also going to call it
GIF. It's graphical, so graphical, GIF.
GIF peanut butter.
Oh my god.
I know, it's peanut butter. I'm not going to.
I'm only playing devil's advocate. I say GIF. Yeah. Anybody else who
Languages
says GIF
change over time, even if that time is like however long it's been since GIFs have been created.
Yeah. See, I used to say poggers unironically. I mean, I used to say it ironically, and now I
still say it ironically.
Yeah.
I feel like the point you just said, Colin, was the wrong point to make for our argument.
Why?
Because you said language changes over time. But that means that GIF, which would make sense language-wise because it's graphical, that means it could be GIF over time.
Right, it could be, but I'm saying because if you think about it, the creator was the first one ever, was probably the first one ever to give
it a name.
Vocal.
Yeah. I guess, yes.
To it.
And I mean, if it really was the intention, then he was saying GIF back in 19 whatever when he made it.
19 whatever.
I mean, I don't know what year it was.
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
It's Jamie.
Jamie.
By the way, I'm really disappointed in all of you. None of you answered the poll on Spotify.
How fucking dare you?
We get most of our listenership through Spotify, and I'm really disappointed that none of you answered that very simple question as to who is Joe Rogan's assistant. I know that if you probably listen to this podcast hosted by a gay man, a minority, and a white guy...
Let's change it. That's our new podcast name.
Gay man, minority, and a white guy.
Yeah.
That sounds like fucking fuck, what is it called? Two guys, a girl, and a pizza place or some shit.
yeah.
It's like with Ryan Reynolds in it.
Two guys, a girl, and a pizza.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Two straights, a gay, and a mic.
podcast.
Pro Tools and a mic. What a shitty song. They came on the air again on the air. I was listening. They would play that. They would not play that.
I was gonna say that is definitely not going to be on the radio.
That is not going to be on the radio.
Although, hey, we always say that not their worst stuff, but not their best stuff is on the radio.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it'll be the big I mean, obviously they used to make party songs a lot, but the really good party songs now are the ones that'll get played.
1987. Damn, 1987
was
is
when
how
he
old
made GIFs.
The GIF / GIF. Technically, back then it would be GIF.
Right.
Yeah, then the entire population of the world says you're wrong, and then it changed.
I honestly didn't even know that guy, like his name. I didn't even know about him until
a lot of people
he recently died.
Well, what is his name? You just Googled it.
I googled when it was created.
Oh yeah.
You think Google cares about his name?
No.
I would hope so.
It probably does if I was to read the article.
If Google has a specific search result in Google Images, particularly for GIFs, I think they should know who the creator is. And
it's kind of weird that it actually doesn't tell me in the little. Oh. Steve Wilhite?
Let me look at that.
Wilhite? Sure.
Wilhite?
Wilhite? I don't know.
Probably Wilhite.
With his name being Steve, I don't think it's Wilhite. That sounds a little too
Wilhite. Yeah.
too far out there.
Yes. The from South America, Steve Wilhite.
Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Right?
He's
That's
New
his name?
Zealand.
Yeah, I was going to
New
say
Zealand.
New Zealander.
New Zealander.
Yeah, well, Elon Musk isn't technically an African American.
An African American.
I just saw that being recently, and I was
my
like,
God.
technically they're not wrong. I mean, technically. But
Even when white people are from Africa, they still like run diamond mines. Like,
I think he ran an emerald mine.
Yeah, we have found a way to like fuck up our credibility in every nation. Like seriously,
I think the Dutch did that like 300 years ago in Africa.
Oh, were the Dutch not white? He said white in general.
I was trying to point out a specific country there. But...
Oh, Mr. History over here. Would you go to school for this at the college
no,
last that I'm holding?
No, because I have some integrity and I didn't go for a history major.
I apologize to all the... I actually don't. I truly hate history. I don't hate history. I find it interesting.
Spain was.
what?
Yeah, I did.
No, we were playing Crusader Kings when it like first came out. I was like, and you're like, where did you give me land? I was like, where modern day Spain is, and you're like, where the fuck is that?
Oh yeah. Listen, you think I know my geography?
He went to American school.
Yeah, America don't give no fuck.
That's true.
And then he didn't graduate college.
Listen, I know if I want to go to Spain,
And he's
I go
making
to the
more money
right
than
of our
both of
country.
us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's the American dream right there.
Yeah.
It's to not go to college. It's to make a lot of money in tech, and then 10 years from now, you're gonna make like an app, and you're gonna get one pair of Ray-Bans, and suddenly you're gonna tell us to fuck off. I'm never gonna see you.
I'm gonna have like 3 Teslas randomly
Yeah.
or some shit.
Yeah. You're gonna suffocate to death in in Elon's like tunnel that he's gonna build under Chicago.
The Boring Company.
Yeah, the Boring Company.
I was just talking about that with a coworker today. He was like, because we have 2 offices and we have to walk to, well, technically we have 3, but we have to walk to the other office sometimes. So he's like, why can't they just make a tunnel? He's like, someone call Elon Musk, make a tunnel. And I was like, oh, put a Tesla in it so we can drive to our fucking, yeah.
It'll never get a traffic jam until it does.
Yeah, until the time it does.
And then if there is flooding, we're screwed. There's no way.
Well, it's funny because at least what they initially did, I mean, I guess I didn't look into it completely, but they had a Tesla in a tunnel just driving, right? Mm-hmm. Unless they made a second tunnel, how the fuck is that Tesla getting back? Do they have to reverse all the way there?
I think there would.
I'm assuming, does it have like a loop at the end?
Yeah, I would
shit?
assume it's like a vagina shape. Like there's a tunnel curved this way going in a direction, and then another tunnel curved another
You have
way.
a lot of experience with that, Matt.
I'm just saying in terms of the shape. Like,
he probably went to sex
I'm not
ed.
talking about like.
They teach us.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
If only
I mean,
went to,
they do, but they don't. Are you kidding me?
Jeremy, pull Just kidding.
I'm pulling up because I saw an article today.
God, what are you pulling up?
What's the there's one of the you're not gonna know this.
I'll know it. You tell me. Ask me.
Did either of you guys watch Glee?
Yes.
No.
You did watch Glee?
Yep.
Okay, what?
You did not.
I didn't even need you to answer the question. Leah Michelle. So there was an article. Leah Michelle.
I wouldn't have known it. I did watch it, but the only one I know about is fucking Blaine, which I can't even remember his actor's name.
One of the
Daniel Chris.
Oh yeah, one of the actresses,
Chris.
Leah Michelle.
I don't think Daniel Craig was in Glee.
I don't know.
Apparently,
I watched it. I know.
Oh.
in an interview, she was talking about how, like, I guess, like, Jonathan Groff, the guy from Mindhunter, and he was also in Hamilton. He played the King of England, and he's also Agent Smith in the most recent Matrix
That one
movie.
got me.
But Jonathan Groff apparently, like, I didn't know he was gay, but so I guess like a lot
knew.
of gay males.
I saw him and I was like, "Yep."
Really,
Yeah.
wow, profiling much.
No, I have that feeling.
Oh, so when
sometimes.
he says when he says that it's profile, but when you say it, it's your gaydar.
But he always says his gator is wrong.
Yeah, my gaydar's
and mine is always on
yeah.
fleek.
Whoa, that's
yes, it is.
Oh shit! All right, sorry. On my brow. Okay, it went to the NSFW Twitter.
Jeremy, pull that up.
I really hope that.
Jeremy, spread those cheeks.
God damn it.
Shit. Right. But let me see, because I think that my friend on Twitter, they posted it.
You know, last time you tried to find a tweet, you kept scrolling, and then like 30 minutes later, you texted me like, "I can't find it."
Yeah, you just hear the sound of scrolling. But I think it was basically Leah Michelle was talking about how Jonathan Groff, like, since like many gay males, he wasn't very familiar with the female anatomy and the vagina. Like, I guess she like literally like showed him her vagina and like used like a desk lamp to basically show her, and someone was just like, you could have just like you literally could have just like
Googled it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's many pictures
I was
online.
about to say
Plenty.
the one thing that they ever actually taught us in sex ed was like they showed us a birth, and that was about it. At least in high school.
They
Yeah.
I meant middle
I don't
school.
even remember getting that. Like,
In middle school, we went to the Robert Crown Center.
Oh,
which
well,
is
that's sure that, yeah, but like that was
Why would you high five me for the
Beyond
Robert
that-
Crown Center?
beyond that. There was like fucking nothing.
Yeah, but I feel like Robert Crown Center kind of told you most of what you already knew.
Yeah, but but when you go there in like 5th grade or end of 5th grade, it's like
They
by
took us
high
there
school that's
3
like
times.
3 times. We went like fucking once.
I'm pretty sure we went. I think we went 6th, 7th, 8th, or it might have been 5th, 6th,
Wow,
7th.
your school was a lot more proactive with that shit.
They wanted us to know.
Apparently.
Are you talking about the Robert Crown Center?
Yeah, we only went fucking once.
I went like several times.
I told
think,
them we went several times.
several times.
They failed you.
My
Apparently.
my favorite
Colin's like,
time.
the fuck's a labia?
My favorite time was when we got
Now
separated.
he's thinking in
into
his
boy
mind,
and
what
boy
is a
and-
labia? Sorry, continue.
My favorite time is when we got separated in boy and girl groups, and then there was the dude who came in. It's like, all right, everybody say with me, vagina.
I
Yes.
do remember that.
Yes.
Vagina. It was great.
What if we were in the same thing, we just didn't know it?
Maybe I
Because
don't know.
technically there was multiple classes that went there. But I remember the guy came in and he's like, all right, everybody say it, let's get it out now. Vagina.
Yeah.
All right. Penis. All right, yeah, how cool is my job? I can say vagina and
Do you
penis.
remember what year? Maybe we were in the same room
I don't
together.
remember what fucking year it was.
But was it a
I went
black guy?
multiple times.
Was
Yes!
it a fun black guy?
Yes!
I love that.
I mean,
dude.
to be fair, he worked there. So
I mean,
yeah,
but sometimes you go to a place and it's like, oh, well, I wonder if I'll see that employee
Matt,
again.
we
You
went
never
to
do.
the same middle school. I never went in middle school.
I never went in middle school.
Oh,
I only
well, there you
actually
go.
maybe once in middle school, but I remember most
he
of mine
said he
from.
went once in middle school.
But I remember mostly from elementary school, like
Oh,
going,
you went younger.
Yeah, we went in 5th grade.
like 5th grade. But then I think there might have been
What the fuck is middle school considered? So the school I went through was a kindergarten
Oh,
to
middle
8th grade.
school is 6,
middle
7,
school
8.
was 6, 7, 8 for us.
Oh, I think I might have went 5th, 6th, 7th. Because it's all like one school, they just kind of
I seem to recall like 4th, 5th, maybe 6th. For me, maybe it blended together. I bet I probably went at least once in like middle school, probably like 6th grade, because that was just kind of like me like coming off of the high of elementary school.
High of elementary
Well, yeah,
school?
because then 7th grade hit and puberty hit me like a bus, and then I was just like in existential dread for 2 years.
True.
Yeah, I was
Middle
a
school
mess.
sucks.
Middle
It
school
really does.
Middle school was terrible.
Yeah, middle school really was. Everybody was always like, "Oh, high school bullies." Honestly, middle school is worse.
Middle school is terrible.
Yeah.
Once you get to high school, like it's such a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we also went to a lot nicer of a high school. To be fair,
And a lot more
true.
people to actually interact with.
yeah, that's true. A very diverse high school, considering there was like 1,000 kids in one grade.
Yeah.
I was telling people that literally in a Chicago office.
Yeah.
The people were like, "You had how many people in your
Yeah.
class?" I was like, "Yeah, there's 1,000 people." In my
Our
class."
adolescence, we graduated from like HBO series about high schoolers to like Boy Meets World. That's basically our trajectory. It got so much nicer.
Yeah, it was literally yeah. Well, honestly, junior and senior year basically was like fucking like college. Honestly, it was basically like a version of college. I'm not saying it was college.
Yeah.
but like it was very much college-like. I feel like, but that's as much college as I'm gonna get. Unless I go back, but I'm probably not. I'm gonna go back for certification.
Both high school and college kind of followed a similar trajectory for me, because the first 2 years was me like trying to kind of figure out who I was and where I was, and then the last 2 years were like all the
You're
good
like,
shit.
can't stop me now.
Because the last 2 years of high school we did the radio show, and then I also came out of the closet. Lots of cool shit.
All that good stuff.
And even my first relationship, which like lived and died immediately. It was great. It was burned out like a star. And then
Oh, stars don't exactly burn out, but that's fine. Continue.
I don't know, was supernova. Was
It depends on the star.
some
God.
science term, some science term. And then college was pretty much the same thing. I was doing radio all 4 years, but it wasn't until the third year that me and Joe started like doing like a big radio show.
Right, right.
So, but you know, at least got plenty of music. Speaking
Point
of music,
is,
yeah,
high school is better. Sorry, continue.
yeah.
I just wanted to sum up what we were just talking about, basically.
Oh yeah, high school is definitely better than middle school. If you're in middle school, I'm sorry, and also stop listening to this.
You can't stop these kids nowadays.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh, technically, those kids are in the same generation as us.
Are they
Oh,
actually?
I don't give a
holy
shit.
You're not in our generation, technically.
What?
You're millennial.
Okay. What's the cutoff?
There were
97. No,
no,
never mind,
we're
you're
a
97.
weird in between generation.
You're in 97, though.
97.
I'm also
Yeah,
May
no,
2nd,
we're all
97.
97. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
97 is
Well, I
is
wouldn't
literally
say-
the beginning of Gen
Hold
Z.
on, I wouldn't say we're good.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, because I was thinking you're older, but you're only older by months,
5
not
years
by a year.
ago, me and my sister literally couldn't even tell, because it seemed like no matter where you went, it was like, are we Gen Z?
From
Are
what
we-
every time I look it up online, at least now, 97 is the start date.
All right.
So we're zillennials.
Zillennial.
Millennials.
That's what I call myself.
Look, I've always
me now.
considered we're
That doesn't fucking matter.
we're
It's
an
just a
in-between
generation, of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We're the in-betweeners. Man, that sounds way better.
have you ever seen the In-Betweeners? Like the British show?
Yes.
It's a good show.
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's really short. It's good. It's good.
I've heard of it. I think I've heard good stuff about it.
What's that song by Rage Against or Rise Against? What is it like?
Rage Against Machines?
No.
There is, I think, Rise Against
I'm
is
trying to
there.
think of what the song, because I heard it on 101 the other day.
The Nowhere Generation.
Yeah, we are the Nowhere Generation.
Bella literally just heard that the other day and was like, I need to download it.
It's a pretty good song.
Yep.
But it's like, how old are these guys?
Millennials.
Which generation?
They're definitely talking about
Okay,
millennials.
definitely millennials. I remember there was an old like in the time after like Speed and Matrix, when like
In the before times.
when Keanu Reeves wasn't like doing a lot of great shit, like the pre John Wick era, post Matrix, pre John Wick. He was doing
That's a lot of fucking time.
I know.
By the way.
Oh, I know. He was doing a lot of like he occasionally would do like an art film. And I remember there's just one film that's just him with like a camcorder following around these I think it was called Generation Y, and it was literally and it was literally just like if I just remember, the only thing I remember from the trailer was him recording these girls and like talking about like life and stuff, and him just asking them questions like, it's like, what do you think about life? I don't know.
Hey, his voice is a pretty good voice.
It's a great voice.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Now I gotta want to go find it.
We were driving the other day, and I was pointing out to Colin, because we were basically having a very quiet car ride listening to the music that I just had on shuffle on my phone, which my music goes from, like, I was telling Colin, when I'm in the car listening to music, I'm either listening to music to chill out, to get hyped, or to feel like I'm about to go kill someone. Because
hyped and trying to go kill someone, it's kind of like the same
I
thing.
know, but
it's a different type of adrenaline.
Specifically because it's a lot of film scores. Like, I'll listen to a lot of soundtracks from, like, films and stuff.
Oh, you're talking about, like, Taken level of, like, I'm on a mission.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'll listen to, like, the Tenet soundtrack, or in the case of what we were listening to, there was a song, it was, I think, from the soundtrack for the Bungo Stray Dogs movie. The track was called Dead Apple. And it's just this
I thought you were about to say dead ass. Like,
Dead
no, but
and it's
song.
just this very dramatic, very Hollywood-esque epic movie score. And I love it. But I was just pointing out to Colin how it, like, really sounds like me driving my red Nissan through a parking lot at night, looking around, about to do the super masculine thing of going to get ice cream.
Exactly. Oh, you went to Jenny's?
We went there together.
Oh, that was the same day.
That was the same day.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
We were heading there, and so
Jenny's, great place. If you guys have a Jenny's ice cream near wherever the hell any of you are, go there.
It's so good.
So good.
It's so good.
Might be a little bit more expensive, but so good.
Our freezer is the perfect temperature for ice cream because Ben & Jerry's will actually be really easy to cut into with a spoon, and that also means that the Jenny's ice cream, it's like soft serve.
Oh,
it's
see, some people like rock hard ice cream.
Nah.
I'm not one of them.
I need a good middle ground, but soft serve is definitely, because I remember, like, I was like, I'm gonna try some of this everything bagel. Everything bagel is a great flavor from Jenny's ice cream.
So interesting.
It's a cream cheese flavored ice cream, and it isn't as overpowering as you might think. So shut your mouth. It's not that overpowering, but they've got these bits of gravel, this sort of
it's like everything seasoning.
It's
gravel,
everything bagel seasoning infused in this kind of strudel like chunks. That is essentially like they took a bagel with cream cheese
and then chopped up the bagel and
then turned that into not so much a savory lunch, but a sweet dessert. It is weird. Magical.
But it's so good.
It's magical.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, I definitely want to eat it again, but the first time I ate it, to be fair, I also just was eating my really sweet-ass ice cream, so eating that, it's kind of salty. But I think just eating that by itself...
Well, because then it is a culmination of sweet and salty, which is a great mix. Then normally, and if I was to try and get that, I'd go for, like, salted caramel or, like, chocolate caramel.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's good, too. But this was just such a unique way to get that effect.
They have very unique flavors. They just came out with like a jelly-filled donut one, I'm pretty sure.
I've tried to get a new thing every time I'm there to really experiment around.
But then you're also like, what I get all the time is fucking good.
Exactly. So I need to get like a safety one that I'm content with.
My safety one was a limited flavor and they got rid of it.
Ooh.
I'll miss you, banana brandy.
But
whatever.
Initially, this episode was just going to be me asking like a bunch of questions. I only came up with 2. And
a bunch of questions, 2. You know, your couple and a bunch of are way off definition-wise.
Well, I know. That's why I just contradicted. I said I was going to come up with a bunch of, and now it's only
you just said I had a bunch of questions, and then you said...
No, I said I was going to make a bunch of...
Jeremy?
I was going to make a bunch of... This episode was going to be me asking a bunch of questions... But now I only ended up coming up with 2.
Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little bit into my wine.
One of which was here.
That's probably gonna hurt their ears.
We both have wine.
Not.
It's fine. I'll lower it. I'll lower the volume.
Ooh, man, with the editing skills.
And which clearly did not help with the musical intro from last week. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm learning that I need to be more careful about.
He said, "I just want to show you guys this," and
I was not expecting it to be loud.
And I was like, I was waiting for it, and then all of a sudden it came on. It was like blaringly loud. I was like, man, whoever's wearing headphones.
Yeah, I guess I need to go below -6 decibels when I.
Well, if you're importing something, I feel like because it's gonna be a higher resolution, not resolution. I'm thinking about video, but still,
I still could have lowered it a bit more.
Yeah. Hey, we're chill on the B side.
But when I was talking with Colin in the car about like music, I was like, I wonder like what would be like our like villain themes. Like if we had a song that played like for our like evil moments, what would our villain themes be? So I asked you two to like come up with stuff. Michael forgot.
Okay, so when you said theme, I thought you meant like
He thought we meant like narrative themes.
So like I was sitting here like, damn, that's like actually like a pretty in-depth question.
So now I'm really wondering what your answer was.
I don't even know. I was gonna come up with it on the spot, but now I'm thinking of other themes.
Right. Because I'm just trying. So you were gonna think like, but in what context?
Well,
would you
like not narrative, but more of
like if there was a story about you, what would your
but like what kind of villain? So like in
kind of villain
like
you
Moon
would
Knight,
be.
for example, he's more of like almost like a psychological villain in a way, where it's like he's not really doing anything besides orchestrating things and like kind of fucking with the hero, you know?
Right.
So like I was thinking that kind of thing. So that's why I was like, interesting question. But now I get it. It's more of a musical theme.
Musical theme.
Yeah.
That
I didn't get that.
Though what you just said, what your confusion might turn into the second question.
Oh,
That's
shit.
actually really fun.
Okay.
But so mine would probably have been the song I was playing for Colin in the car.
Dead ass?
No, yeah, exactly. Dead ass. Dead Apple from the Bungo Stray Dogs movie soundtrack, just because that guy already has made some really good music for stuff like Gurren Lagann and a bunch of other anime. So it was funny that when he already had such a great soundtrack, he decided, we're making a movie. I'm gonna make the most Hollywood ass, fucking intense, fucking epic, like orchestra going fucking ham, with a little bit of techno here and there. It's gonna sound like a James Bond movie. It's gonna be great. And what resulted was the song, which I might put a little sample. That was kind of going to be my pick, but Colin says that he came up with an idea. So I want to know what your song is. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'm going to slap you in the face.
You're definitely not gonna. It's definitely not whatever you're thinking of. Obviously,
Prepare to be slapped in case it is.
it's "Club Can't Handle Me Right Now" by Flo Rida. Hear me out.
Wait, I'm trying to think what even that song
Hear me
is.
out. Hear me out. I am not intimidating enough to be an actual movie villain.
No.
I'm a movie villain in a shitty like 2000s buddy
Disney?
comedy.
Oh, okay.
Where that plays when I'm like entering like the club. It's like,
So-
who the fuck is that?
So you're like the villain from like Despicable Me 2.
Yes.
Or
Like
the
that one dude with the whole tracksuit.
Yeah.
Or the villain who's only a villain because he's got like the main character's girl.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the club can't handle me right now.
Oh my god. Wait, that would be your villain?
I know. As soon as I heard, I thought that you were gonna say "Bad Guy" by Billie Eilish,
No.
which would be too on the nose.
I hate that song.
I know, but I thought that's.
I think that would fit for you too.
I think it would because you hate it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It would have turned you more aggressive when
Look,
you hear it.
Billie Eilish can sing. She just doesn't in any of most of her songs.
Don't you remember when she went, duh, that was pretty good singing.
Colin is just like a slight hair flip away from being the ideal like villain.
I thought you were about to say he's a hair flip away from being Billie Eilish.
There's so many villains that all they have to do to do their transformation is just pull their hair back.
Shit,
Like
as soon
Virgil.
as soon as they pull it
Yeah.
back, you're like, oh fuck.
Oh shit! It's like their hand is like permanently like covered in hair gel that just.
They have a glove. That's their only power. Is a glove that dispenses hair gel.
You know, it's a great like villain theme. Like I don't know the full thing, but I can search it right now in like less than 20 seconds, and it would probably it's from Spider-Man 3.
Jeremy, pull it up.
Yeah, the evil Toby song.
Oh god, I don't remember what that one is.
Well, okay, this might shit. I don't know if they have a sample of it, but I know that they have this clip of him.
Say just play the fucking scene.
Oh shit!
coming
Well,
up?
first we gotta go through the fucking
YouTube.
goddamn YouTube ad.
Thanks, Susan.
Who the fuck's Susan?
Good CEO of YouTube.
I feel like I should know that.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that. I'm surprised you knew
As
that.
an IT specialist, I feel like I should know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
But listen to the music.
I can barely hear the music. Oh my god. Oh, that one? Oh, yeah. That would actually, that actually reminds me of The Incredibles every time I hear it.
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's an Incredibles song. Something about that just sounds like very superhero, but like Pixar.
Also done by Michael Giacchino, who did the music for The Batman.
Dunkachino.
Yeah.
Dunkachino? Another Chino?
It might be Giacchino, but...
No, it's Dunkachino, so... Did you hear that they announced Batman 2?
I know, yeah.
Even though everybody kind of assumed.
It better be set during Christmas, that new movie.
Why?
Better be set during...
Why?
Because, okay, so Batman stories set during Christmas time are always fucking lit. They're always fucking lit. They're so cool. Just Gotham
was that
City
when the
with
Dark
snow.
Knight was?
No. I'm talking about Batman Returns. I'm talking about Batman Arkham Origins. Anytime that Batman is, like, a Batman story is set during Christmas time, it's perfect.
Because then he's sitting there like, my family's all dead.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out. What if they mix it up and do a holiday no one's ever seen before in a Batman film?
Thanksgiving.
Easter. I was going to say that originally, but I was going to...
That, I mean, they could probably make that work with, like, Mad Hatter. If they brought him in as a villain. I've always wanted to see Mad Hatter.
I could totally see that happening. Like, it would be like the fucking, like, there would be like a gang, but like dressed up with like creepy looking bunny masks on or something.
But the main reason I mention it is because I remember some...
but they would have to have the... Sorry, one sec. They would still have to have the Riddler because he would have to have the eggs that open and that his riddles would be in the eggs. Sorry, continue.
True.
Batman would have to go on an egg hunt.
Because it's also because I want to see Mr. Freeze in a movie. In a good movie.
Specifically the Arnold Schwarzenegger version.
Yeah, specifically. But I just remember there was a concept art. It was
got
like...
to chill out.
Yeah, it was like... It was somebody did concept art of what a sequel poster would look like. And it was like Mr. Freeze's like red goggles, one of the lenses. And the reflection you see Batman and there's snow everywhere. I just would love to see something reminiscent of the animated series portrayal of Mr. Freeze, but done in live action. Because also we'd get more into like the weird supernatural aspect, like having a guy with a cold gun. I mean, I just want there to be like someone like Poison Ivy.
That's more scientific.
I know, but like, but I want there to be more of like, but more of a suspension of disbelief. I want there to be someone like Poison
like sci-fi
Ivy,
kind of in a way.
Poison Ivy, or like Mr. Freeze or Killer Croc.
Well, that's the thing that I feel like is going to be hard with this.
Yeah.
This, I guess, universe or whatever they're doing, or trilogy, whatever they're going to end up doing with Batman. I feel like it's going to be hard to do with this because they've already set the tone with how grounded it is. And I think so I feel like it's going to be kind of not weird. I mean, obviously they could do it. There's ways to do it. I just feel like, at least for what you're saying, like supernatural and kind of like...
That's why maybe not fully supernatural. That's why I think that Mr. Freeze would be a good way to ease into that stuff. Like, you can have the stuff that's... Because you already have him doing the wingsuit thing and then surviving that crash when he gets to the... When he, like, hits his head on that lamp and then crashes on the bus and the car and onto the street and survives. I still think
that was one of the worst action cameras.
Why?
In that movie.
Just because
the way it looked. I think it was because it was tracking his head and something about the movement. I saw it and I was like, that just doesn't look good. At least to me.
But it's kind of like a GoPro type thing.
Yeah, I will say, it was more like a GoPro, but like, I don't know. There's something about it that I just saw and I was like, ugh. But then after it was done, I immediately forgot about it.
I also just think, I mean, I don't know. I just want more camera shots that just kind of go off the beaten path in terms of how they show things.
Right. No, I get you.
I mean, to me, it was similar to like when they had the camera rigged behind him when he was on the motorcycle at the beginning. And I mean, that was a gorgeous shot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, honestly, that was like the only scene, or scenes, technically, in that movie that I just saw that I was like,
You guys are the second people to like like my dad also was very confused when I was like, it better be set during Christmas time, just because like
just a random request.
I just feel like it's well documented that Batman stories on like a Batman Christmas story is like fucking awesome.
It's true. Hey, Christmas with the Joker animated episode, one of the best episodes in the animated series.
Which one was that?
The Christmas episode
With Joker in it.
one of the only episodes I've watched.
Was that before or after the redesign?
Before.
Before, okay. So
Yes.
Because I mostly
Like
remember...
you're talking about like where he kind of looks like almost like a Rastafarian in the redesign. That's what I always saw him as. Am I thinking of the wrong thing?
No. Oh god, no. You're thinking of the Batman, the show from 2004. That was like
he almost looks. He has like Joker has like dreads.
He kind of
right?
has like dreads.
I don't know why every time I see him I think like he's Rastafari.
The OG Batman animated series, the first 3 seasons had a very distinctive style. He had kind of like the his Batman outfit. He had like the circular symbol with the bat symbol with like the yellow in the background.
I believe it's that one.
Okay, yeah, probably. But then in the
he looks totally like a Rastafarian, doesn't
but in the but then season 4 they redesigned a bunch of the characters. And I actually really liked the redesign, and it would go on to define the style of many of the other DC series after that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think it actually might be within like the first season, possibly. Honestly, Frank showed it to me, and I don't know when it was, but that was like the first thing he showed me of the animated series. I'm pretty sure that's what it looked like. Oh no,
because this is the season 4.
Not that. No, I don't believe it was that one. I believe it was the OG one.
Yeah, they
Jeremy.
redesigned everyone. Yeah.
That looks pretty cool though. It looks pretty cool.
Because this is what Batgirl looked like originally when she was introduced.
Shouldn't she have a wheelchair?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
You heartless bastard.
Sorry.
I can't believe you. And then this is what she looked like after the redesign.
I like the original, actually.
You like this one better?
I like the gray with the purple.
Yeah.
I like her.
It is very cute.
like that.
Well, also because they had like Catwoman, like. And
They're like, well, we
was,
can't
like...
do both with gray. And then they ended up turning them both with black.
Oh yeah, because this was Catwoman before, and then animated series season 4, Catwoman. Oh yeah, then they just kind of made her like
a shadow. What the fuck? Holy shit.
Yeah, could not be a bigger difference in character designs. She looks a lot more mature in the original designs.
Honestly, she looks more like a human being in the original designs.
Nightwing had a mullet. That was cool.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
It's criminal they don't have a Nightwing movie. What is wrong with Sony and with DC? Sony's making an El Muerto.
I was going to bring that up, actually.
A character who's only been in the comics twice.
And before you ask, I don't know.
I don't either. No,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, because I saw the IGN article, it was like, Sony's going to bring the first live-action Marvel Hispanic live-action. I was like, everything you said about that sentence is wrong, as technically Oscar Isaac is.
He's Guatemalan. But yes, technically, I guess it's Hispanic in a way.
Right, yeah.
But I think it's because the character isn't supposed to be Hispanic in the
show,
also,
El Muerto, is that his?
Muerte.
Yeah,
Muerte.
El Muerto.
Oh.
El Muerto, I believe.
El Muerto or Muerte?
I believe it's Muerto with it. Oh.
The point is, he's supposed to be Mexican, but the guy they cast was like Puerto Rican.
No, they can't fucking casted DaBaby. I'm not even joking.
No, not DaBaby.
No.
Who
am I thinking of then?
His name has baby in it. It's not DaBaby though.
I was going to say
it's not the rapper.
No, it's Bad Baby. Bad Baby.
Bad Baby. That's
who the fuck is that? Another rapper?
No. He's I actually don't know too much about him, so I can't really say. But I'm pretty sure he's like a Latino musician.
You want to know the best glow up from the from the season 4 though? It was Scarecrow. Look at this thing. Look at this fucker.
Okay,
that's creepy.
That's fucking creepy.
Yeah,
this is what he looked like before.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, that looks more like a Scarecrow.
Yeah, this was great. He had like the noose and everything. There was a fucked episode, one of my favorite episodes in the whole series, which was like a nightmare where essentially like Batman was like on the run from the cops and everything. They like stormed Wayne Manor, and you find out why, and it's because like Barbara got like thrown off a building by Scarecrow, and
she was in the wheelchair.
no, she fucking dies, and then and then Gordon finds out that it's Barbara and is furious, and then sends every cop in the city after Batman, and there's like a fight against Bane and everything. No, I think the police they make a deal with Bane to like hunt down Batman. It was an insane fucking episode.
I was born in darkness.
Yeah. So what would your villain theme be?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say the Ultra Instinct theme.
Oh fuck.
I mean that's pretty evil sounding in a way.
I mean,
but the Ultra Instinct theme, but also the Trap remix. Because I like the way it sounds more dark when it gets eventually to the trap part.
Yeah, I mean I haven't heard it, but
are you gonna have to? I'm trying to think of the specific remix, so you might find the worst wrong.
Theme. I'm just gonna look up Ultra Instinct theme, the normal one.
Okay.
Start.
Okay.
Ultra Instinct theme official version. Oh yeah, I've heard it.
Yeah, I was saying you've heard it. Yeah, you've definitely heard it. Everybody's heard that fucking thing. Even if you don't know what Dragon Ball Super is, you've heard that.
Ultra Instinct Trap Remix is this one?
I don't even remember.
All right, let's listen.
That's it.
Yeah, fucking Amazon ad.
Oh, Jeffy B trying to get more of our money.
Jeffy B.
Is it that? It might. That's not the version I'm thinking of at all, but it's close enough.
You can look it up.
I'll have to look it up eventually. See, because of what I want you to do now in post, right? I want you, while we're talking about, no, I mean, you could keep this in. Jesus, will you kill a fly?
I thought that's what he was doing.
Matt's like, where the fuck's the bug? I was going to say, you can put the music behind our conversation while each one of us are talking about ourselves.
You know, actually, let's listen to these themes
no.
for all of us. And we're gonna go on a short break, and when we return, we're gonna answer the alternative question that Michael thought this was about.
But wait, can we talk more of El Muerto and why Sony's fucking up?
Yeah, let's do that now. Tell me about
Oh, wait, we want to do it now?
Let's just do it now.
Okay,
and
I just
go on
think
a
it's
break.
dumb that of all characters, they're doing the same thing that DC's doing. They have
Yeah.
so many characters that are well known, and for some reason they're just not doing anything with them.
Right.
And they're taking these. I can understand if it was like a smaller, even a smaller villain, like that's lesser known. Like even Kraven's getting a movie, and I barely knew about him before.
Yeah, but at least when I hear Kraven, it's like, well, that's a really awesome Spider-Man character.
Right.
Nobody
El
gives
Muerto-
a fuck who El
I
Muerto
don't
is.
think people even knew who he was until this came out.
And-
He's literally in 2 issues of a comic. 2. That's it. 2 separate books.
I mean, granted, like, not many people knew who Iron Man was, but also, like...
But at least he's in more than 2 fucking comics.
But also there's a precedent set now. We expect characters to be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and be at least moderately acceptable to most audiences.
Yes.
And cool, because they're usually introduced as part of another character's movie.
Correct.
When DC introduces a new character, even they at least have a character that's like, well, I mean, people like James Gunn, they're gonna want to figure out who that... And he successfully made us give a shit of who the Guardians were, so he can make any character interesting.
Which he did in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we got some villains, or like, well, assuming that Ezra Miller doesn't fucking kill somebody, we're gonna have a Flash movie. And hey, you know, there are tons of people who like Young Justice. There's probably an audience that's excited for a Blue Beetle movie. I'm interested. But nobody, and I don't even know what comic El Muerto is supposed to be from.
It's from Spider-Man, but I'm
Is it?
pretty sure he's only fought him like twice. He's in not 2
He's only
comic runs, 2
comic issues.
books. Yeah, issues. Literally 2 issues. 30 pages of and he's probably not in every 30 pages either.
Do you want to know how damaging Morbius has been to the world of cinema?
How? Tell me. Lay it on me.
2 very noteworthy directors. One of which who I don't know that much about, but who my friends speaks very highly of, and also Robert Eggers, the director of The Lighthouse and The Northman, backed out of making like vampire movies recently. Robert Eggers was going to make a Nosferatu remake and backed out of it.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool, yeah.
And you know what? The fact that the studio executive said, clearly the problem had nothing to do with the fact that nobody gives a shit about who Morbius is, and nobody likes Jared Leto, and nobody, finds this universe we're doing interesting outside of Venom. Venom.
I was gonna say Venom.
Clearly it's that people are tired of vampires.
That's a stupid... Why do higher-ups always get the stupidest reason to stop something? Let's not stop it because we don't think people are interested just in, I don't know, fucking Nosferatu, the actual subject. I don't know.
We should watch the original Nosferatu.
I'm down.
We should, or even better, we should watch the film, the Nosferatu with Willem Dafoe.
Oh.
I think the twist of that film, I could be wrong, but I think the twist of the film might be that it's the actual Nosferatu in a film about Nosferatu.
That would be pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I do actually want to see that now. That's actually interesting.
Interesting.
But, I don't know. I feel like there's too many executives that
Bane
just
looks like
cancel
a
projects. You said who looks... Oh, Bane? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
he
is a
does.
season 4 redesign.
But there's too many higher ups I feel like that are canceling shows or movies or even games or blaming a failure on something else and not the fact that they made something shitty.
Yeah.
So Battlefield 2042, they were like, well, it's because Halo Infinite came out.
No, it's
So
not.
Everybody hated our game.
I mean, they can't
No, your game's
Yeah.
shitty. You just added the voice chat?
Yeah.
You just added game chat.
I mean, at least with Battlefield 5, they could use the excuse of other games were coming out, and also a lot of people really hate women. But Battlefield 2042, it's you didn't put in a scoreboard or the ability.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that was it too. They just added
added a scoreboard.
all they needed to do.
What was
They
that?
needed-
What happened when I pressed tab? Was there nothing?
I guess nothing. Maybe it just shows how many kills you have. Maybe.
Maybe.
The point, honestly, where they were truly fucked up, they should have just took Battlefield 4 and just updated it.
Yeah.
Added some new guns.
Battlefield 1 was
They
good.
could have still went into the future a little bit like they were doing.
I like when they go to the future.
Yeah,
I
so
like
do I.
every time
They could have did that and just kept the core mechanics of Battlefield 4.
You know what they could have
And it
done?
would've been good.
They could have had a campaign.
Yeah,
That
but I
too.
mean, even then, not most, but a lot of people, at least, that were looking for basically a modern Battlefield probably were only going to focus on the multiplayer anyways. But I still just think it's ridiculous that game failed because they could have had something really good.
I'm glad it failed because then I don't have to worry about playing it.
Paying some, oh yeah, you
Because
would
my
have
account.
because
Yeah.
EA locked you out. See, look, you get to live another day.
You know what's so funny is that they didn't have a campaign for 2042, but they did have some trailers, some story trailers, kind of depicting what the world is like in this story.
Maybe they were gonna have a multiplayer campaign,
Well, you know what the
like
coolest.
Fortnite-esque.
Oh, probably. But you know the coolest part about that whole marketing campaign was that they had characters who were from the campaign of Battlefield 4 come back in this new in this little cut story trailer. And the late Michael Kenneth Williams from some such things as The Wire, as well as he was in Community for a time. I think that might actually be his last performance, was reprising his role from Battlefield 4 in the trailer for Battlefield 2042, a game that didn't even have a campaign, and that nobody liked.
Yeah,
It's like how Naya Rivera, before she passed away in 2020, her last performance is as Catwoman in the 2-part Law and Halloween
animation.
Yeah, animated adaptation, which I'm actually writing a review for, and you can expect that soon.
I heard it was nice.
I watched it. Colin saw me, and I know that he was there because he made snide remarks about a joke that Catwoman made, because she was like, curiosity can get you killed, and it's like, Get it? Because she's a cat.
That's the one comment I made.
Well, you also, I actually referenced you in the review because you made a great point about the art style because it kind of looked like Archer, and I don't remember what else you compared it to.
I'd have to see it again.
You'll have to read your own review.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of what he said, and so I had to make my own comparison. But I thought the movies were actually pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
But you know what's weird is that like they had a whole DC continuity ever since Son of Batman, like back in like 2014, 15 or whatever. They've had a continuity of DC films that are like all in the same universe because they were trying to do like a Marvel thing. So they were kind of basically doing like, oh, here's Justice League War. They're basically adapting New 52 stories, but and even some of the older stuff as well in a new timeline.
Gotcha.
With kind of a similar art style. But the art style just kept getting worse and worse because, like, it felt, like, forced. Like, you don't have to have that art style to tell every one of these stories. And it's just kind of, like, this weird anime wannabe style after a while. Like, you compare, like, the way it started with, like, stuff like Flashpoint, and then compare that to, like, the other movies, like, at the very end. It's just, like, ugh. I tried watching the Hush movie, because I was actually hoping
I heard that one was actually pretty bad.
Yeah, because I was actually hoping that I'd like it more than the comic, because I finished the comic, and I wasn't a huge fan of the comic either.
Oh, really? Because I heard the comic was really good, but I heard the show
The comic has some good points. I'd actually like to talk about that on an episode at some point. Probably with Frank, if we can get him on as a guest now. But
we'd have to figure out Discord.
I honestly, I couldn't even get 15 minutes into it.
Really?
Just like... It was so ugly looking compared to Long Halloween, a movie that I think actually looks really pretty.
But Jensen Ackles voiced Batman in this.
Yeah, he does. And Josh Duhamel as Harvey Dent / Two-Face.
Oh,
yeah. And Naya Rivera as Catwoman. Her last 2 performances in anything, it was this as Catwoman, and she also had a guest appearance on Eric Andre's show. Those are her last 2 things that she did. I say that's going on top.
Oh, okay.
Frankly, I mean, because she was one of the funniest guests I've seen on
really?
Andre. So yeah, rest in peace. But what were we just talking about? Batman. Oh yeah, Hush. I was trying to watch that and just like that universe was so fucked that they made Justice League Dark Apocalypse War
to restart it.
They killed off like half the characters in brutal. It was a rated R movie. They killed off every character like brutally, and then at the end of it, John Constantine literally told Flash like, Barry, can you just like do a Flashpoint again and restart this universe? Like this is fucked. That's literally what happened. While everyone sits on a beach and watches on in like what's remains of the Justice League and the Teen Titans sits on a beach and is just like, I guess it's the end of the universe. And now, yeah, it was so terrible. And you
could say it was pretty dark.
Oh, yeah. So
and now a commercial break.
Get out of a commercial break.
We need to come with a new commercial.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And they form a ball, and then the ball sprouts like machine guns, and it spins around, and they just start opening fire. We gotta do what Nicole
said and do like the
Mystery Science.
Yeah. Bollywood movies.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
It would just be difficult. I feel like we should try to find movies that like maybe like some like forgotten, lesser known like student films, or some older like royalty free movies to do.
Saying we can't do The Room.
No.
Well, also, I feel like The Room has already been done to death.
I mean, yeah, but like we didn't do The Room. Have you guys watched The Room?
No.
Exactly.
Oh, I have.
Oh.
Well, you know what pissed me off? So my dad.
The whole movie.
Well, I mean, yes, but my dad. Oh, this is supposed to be. Was this upside down before? No, it wasn't. Okay.
I mean, there's no reason. I mean.
There is no reason. I remember. So my dad occasionally he'll invite over like some of his friends every now and again for a couple of years to watch bad movies together.
Right.
And I'm now at an age where I'm allowed to kind of join in on some of the festivities. Have been for a while.
In the High Club.
Ugh. Don't talk about that in any relation, in any conversation in which me and my father are less than 6 degrees away from each other. Anyway, the point is, one of the movies was The Room, but my dad was like skipping through it. I was like, why would you skip through it? This is one of the most classic bad movies.
Did he skip through like the 10-minute sex scenes?
Yes.
Ah, that makes sense.
I mean, but he also skipped basically to the end of the movie. And it's like, granted, we had just watched the creme de la crop of bad movies, which was an older film about this old racist guy who's dying and who wants to get like a head transplant. And so there's going to be like, we're going to get like a death row inmate to be like your the person that, and it's because they're running low on time because he thinks he has
Selfless.
No.
Okay.
No. This is a really old movie.
Okay.
Was he racist in that movie?
I don't remember. I just remember him not being a great guy. I believe that was whatever. Continue.
But like he has medical complications, so we need to get this done now. So and remember he's racist. So when they decide, so when they get a black guy on death row to do and the way they actually do the effects of the head transplant is actually really cool. It's like they carry his head like to the new body, but then it's like the comedy of like, like now this racist black guy's head is on this this racist white guy's head is on this black guy's body, and it's
so
and
it's like Dave Chappelle.
Kind of, yeah, and so then
not Tyrone Biggums,
and then he like,
Clayton
and then the guy who's still has his body is like, what? No, I don't want this. So he like escapes from the cops, and there's a motorcycle chase where you can tell that they just put like a fake head on his shoulder, and then like when it is a shot of the two of them together, it's like him just like his head like shoved
like
in
through the
hole,
my god,
and then like he gets to like his wife's house, and his wife's like, what? And then it's like, and they're like getting to loving, but it's like awkward because there's this racist who's just like, and then but slowly the racist is taking over the body.
I thought you were gonna say his wife likes the big schlong.
Well, no, it's not the wife of the racist. It's the wife of the dude who's on death row. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's less interesting.
But that was a terrible, terrible movie. Yeah.
It sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, it sounds pretty.
Have you
terrible.
watched Velocipaster?
I have. I
Is
love
it
it.
Good.
I love it.
Compared to this movie, which one is technically worse?
Probably the movie with the
racist
guy. Gotcha. The thing with the Velocipaster, you know what's really funny is that
the fact it's called Velocipaster.
Well, it's also the fact that you can tell that it's really stupid and it knows it's stupid. It doesn't take itself seriously, but you can also tell that the people making it know how to make a good movie. Like they know when to make something intentionally bad, and they also know when to have like a rather like shockingly tasteful sex scene. like not even because there's like sex, it's because it's literally a musical. It's kind of like it's almost like a song insert played over this very like cool like edited montage of them kind of like disrobing in front of each other, different color grading over the screen, a really fun song playing. It's actually kind of like addicting. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's like, if you're photosensitive, there is like a moment of a lot of flashing imagery. It's basically flashing the entire movie up to that point. And so if you suffer from epilepsy, you should be careful about that. But other than that, it's like it's one of those moments where like when the scene's over, you're like, huh, I actually enjoyed that. I quite like that.
I can get behind that.
I'm invested in these characters. It's kind of like how Sharknado was like a bad movie, but you still really get to love some of those characters.
Like 7 of those?
Yeah, exactly. They ruined it. The
only good one was the first one.
The only good one was the first one. Because I still remember, like, that was like the best Shark Week of all time. Like, because I just remember we heard about it. My whole family was in from the moment we heard about it. And then we watched it on TV, and it was kind of like a rainy day, too. I remember it. We all sat down, we watched it. And then it got to the part where like he jumped into the shark with
the chainsaw,
and then he cut himself out. And he cut himself out, and we were already like, yeah! But then he reached back in, and me and my sister, we like clutched each other, and I was like, he's gonna pull out Nova! And then he does, and then she's like, Nova! We were so happy. It was like the best. It was like that was our end game.
Words I never thought anybody would ever speak.
Yeah, that was our end
Sharknado
game.
was somebody's end game.
Yeah, can you close the door?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Physical labor.
So themes. So like, what kind of villain would you be?
Really fucking lame one.
Well, why are you gonna be lame?
No, but see, like, I'd think I was cool, but like the viewer would be like, God, the guy's a fucking shithead.
But I think but I do think that those kinds of protagonists, like
The
and those
unexpected
kinds of
ones are always
antagonists,
the ones that you're like,
because they might not be actually intimidating, but then it makes you think like, oh, what damaged you? What damaged this poor soul?
Well,
It's kind of
as
like,
long as they tattoo damage on their forehead,
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
they're damaged.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Kylo Ren thing. It's like when he takes off the mask, that's when you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be intimidated by this guy.
Right.
I think I'm supposed to kind of like
Be like, what happened?
he's a tragedy rather than he is like a terror. And
It's kind of the same thing with, literally, I feel like the Riddler. Because, like you said, like, oh, I wouldn't be intimidating. Well, the Riddler by himself does not look intimidating.
But his
as a villain,
personality is.
I mean,
like,
yeah, but I'm saying, but that's acting. I'm saying if you were a fucked up crazy villain, man.
what would be his supervillain name? I think it would have to have something to do with his like his history, like his history major.
Spielberg.
Like, I think it would be you'd be well, you do a lot of work in repatriation.
I don't. Not anymore.
Not anymore. You do like archiving work.
Yeah.
The archive.
The archivist.
But I just archive pieces
Human,
of people.
Yeah, human parts.
That'd
That'd be kind of interesting.
that could be
That'd
interesting.
kinda-
Serial
Although
killer.
I don't know, you'd have to be like a really, it's like comedy villain, like eccentric, like I'm a psychopath, but I enjoy it like thing. Only because that song would not fit with what you do.
He's a serial killer working in a historical archive who's adding his own entries about his own murders
That'd be pretty
to
interesting.
the archive so that when they're discovered later, it's his own confession.
That is
I
pretty
could see
cool.
that.
But you'd also, but if you're using your song, it can't be a serious
No,
movie.
it can't.
But unless, have you seen Fresh?
No, I want to.
So he's kind of more eccentric.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much, but
I kind of know what the movie is.
I don't want to say
because
anything
because when I
anyways.
watched the trailer, I was like, I think I know what the
I already
twist
heard
is.
what the movie is.
Yeah.
Before I watched it, like I knew kind of what the twist was, but I
You
don't
can
wanna
kind of
spoil
tell, but seeing it in its splendor and having it validated
Yeah.
is another experience entirely.
it. So that's why I don't want to say
believe.
anything. But the
Yeah.
point is, that's what I'm thinking for him as a villain, kind
Right.
of,
Yeah.
in a way. You just have to see.
Yeah. I get you. I
You picking up what I'm putting down?
yeah, I grok your crazy mouth music.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Yeah, that's something my dad used to say.
But
I mean, still does.
did he still say it? Okay, so the archivist. I actually like that.
Or the repatriate.
I really like the archivist better
Yeah.
because that's literally like what he
The repatriate would only work if he was doing repatriation,
does, which he doesn't do.
which he doesn't do. The anthropologist.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that just sounds more like. I mean, both of them are just professions,
Yeah,
but I mean,
no.
the archivist just sounds. It rolls off the tongue easier.
Or maybe like just archive.
That sounds more like a superhero,
Yeah, you're
like
right.
an up and coming superhero. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that archive? It sounds like a My Hero Academia.
It does
Or
actually.
archiver. Archiver.
I think archive. Oh, archiver.
No, when you try to force a
We're
pun into
stepping
it.
away from the flow right.
Okay,
Yeah.
archivist is definitely better.
Oh yeah,
No,
because
that's
it'd
the-
be archiva.
What?
Like Flow Rider.
Oh. No, but see, no, that's just the title I go by. I'm like a cool club owner, and that's like the title I go by.
You go by the archivist.
Yeah, I think that could work in a club sense.
Like the penguin, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see it, but I just still don't know how because I feel like you'd have to be, unless you're just a really like eccentric club owner.
Because what are you
Like, are you a
archiving at
mob?
club?
people.
Dead pussy.
I like the clap because you did not trust yourself.
No, because we're gonna edit that out.
No, we're leaving that. I feel like the archivist could still work, but like if you were, it depends on if you're like a mobster or not.
Sure.
Because if you're a mobster, you're archiving the wise guys who are like fucking you over. Why do they call him the archivist? You'll see. And he has like, you have like a fucking cellar of like people's things. Like, this is Joey Two-Time who two-timed me. He's like, here's his finger.
Sounds like a Joel Haver bit.
It does.
Uncle, you love Sand Planet.
This is Joey Two-Time. He two-timed me once.
So you're saying I could be Joel Haver. I take that as a compliment.
It's Joey Three Fingers. What did he do? I don't want to talk about it.
But just know that he only has 2 fingers now.
What about you, Michael? What would be? Let's psychoanalyze you. What's your villain gonna be?
I don't know. So I feel like if I'm going off my theme, though, I feel like I have to be like some kind of street thug. You know?
Nah, you can just do the mobster angle.
You think? No, I don't know about mobster. I don't know what that music. The music doesn't. I like you were saying. I feel like it has to be some kind of like fast, like not a street thug, but like
you're like
a Fast and Furious, like more like a hip mob.
Well, think about this with
Like that kind of
Colin.
thing.
With Colin's theme, we kind of went for like based on his career, and you're doing a lot of tech, and it's a trap remix, so it's a little bit techno.
And Fast and the Furious means I can use magnets to do a bank heist in the Sears Tower.
And specifically, when I say Fast and Furious, I'm not so much talking about Fast and Furious.
It's
I'm talking about Hobbs and Shaw.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
So I'm thinking it's more
like
like you're more of a hacker character. You're
I can see that.
You're a techno terrorist.
Yeah. See, but like, and I always like the villains that are more, I guess, hands off in a way. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they can still get shit done themselves, but like they're more of like the strings behind it all.
What's your middle name again?
Tyler. Ty is what people try to call me. You're trying to think what my name would be?
Yeah.
Techno Ty.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I would.
The tie is the behind.
Oh Jesus. The Archivist was a good one. I think that's gonna be the best one we can come up with tonight.
Well, are you like a murderer, or are you like, are you just doxing people? Doxing. Like revealing people's like.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. Dabble in both.
But he also breaks knees.
Right.
They call me the knee kappa.
Maybe I'm trying to think of like computer terminology. Like I'm thinking like the word root, like root cause.
Root cause.
Like,
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah.
Like root cause.
Like you're the root cause of his demise. That was really stupid. I'm going through all of like I'm trying to.
Oh Lord!
Because I go for like a lot of like the visual novel ass like type of fucking
the administrator.
names. Yeah, admin. It would have to be like short. It'd be admin.
But I kind of like the administrator. But you gotta say it like the administrator.
Only the administrator has permissions. Caps to do.
Badmin.
I feel like admin. Yeah, the admin.
All right.
Good enough.
No, I'm trying to think of something.
Because I feel like that's like
Yeah.
mysterious enough.
Yeah. The admin.
Like the admin is like that's also like a profession. So same with like the archivist. Like you're using a general profession for the name, but you're talking about a specific person.
Right.
So I always found that I don't know why I always gravitate towards those like weird like just random ass things. So it's like the admin. It's like who? The admin of IT? Or are you talking about the criminal? I don't know.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Isn't it so fitting?
And I have an A on my cup.
And you have an A on your cup.
I think it has to stay that way.
And
I have an evil burrito
that's
shirt.
what I was about to mention. Is that you're wearing a shirt that says "I'm evil" to an episode where we're talking about what our villains would be.
I totally planned that.
Nice.
So
Before I give my answer,
Okay.
I want you guys to tell me what you think my villain would
magician. Just kidding. The typist.
The typist.
The typist.
The stenographer.
The gynecologist. I don't know how that
What?
came to my mind.
I want to at least like have you guys guess at least like.
I don't
like,
know. I'm
give
trying to
some
think.
suggestions.
So just suggestions for a name, or basically what you're. What
Well, I
you're
mean,
doing?
so I mean,
I guess a name kind of
because let's see,
into
you know,
what?
I want to be a critic. I write a lot. I'm currently working in like logistics, and working.
You critique logistical data.
Jesus Christ. Well, my idea was that I'd be the ghostwriter, and my whole thing is that
Instead of ghost writer, it's ghost writer.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Because ghostwriter is like the term used for when.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's ghost
Ghost
writer
writer
is the hero.
Is the hero. So
but I'm
instead
saying
of
your
Ghost
name
Writer-
is Ghost Writer.
Yeah. like the Ewan McGregor movie. And so,
Yes.
So basically, my whole thing is like, I'm killing people and taking credit for their written work.
I wrote your name in my death note.
Yeah,
So you like pose as like a publishing company who's like,
exactly.
yeah,
Or maybe I'm
You want to take
publicist.
over.
the
publicist.
publicist. No, I like ghostwriter
I just got
more.
like Ghost Writer, yeah.
That could actually be that could be an
Ghost
interesting movie actually.
That'd be interesting.
Here's the problem. This is a podcast hosted by someone who's an aspiring fiction writer, which means I'm half tempted
To start
censor
the Ghost Writer
to censor both the archivist idea, or at least parts of it,
and the Ghost Writer.
because because the idea about like the preserving like the way that people were murdered, that's like a really good idea.
That is
I
really
kind
good,
of want to
yeah.
write that. I kind of want to write that.
I mean, you can
tonight.
still write it.
I can still write it.
Just
It-
just pause the podcast and go copyright.
Copyright.
Trademark.
Did you know that if you want to copyright something, a legal way to copyright something, put the idea in a signed and sealed envelope, or I think it just has to be a sealed envelope. That is admissible in court as proof of copyright
But how do you?
because they'll open it.
I
know-
can
yeah.
tell you something right now, Matt.
Yeah.
I can open unopened envelopes from the 40s and make it look like it was never opened.
I could write that it was made.
But if you were to put that under like the
But-
microscope, like could
Okay.
you?
But
I have
listen.
probably, but
Listen,
yeah.
I guess it depends on how deep they go into this analysis of this document. Because technically, I could just write a letter the day of.
What do you mean?
You know,
But
like
probably-
like
I imagine-
I gotta turn this in. Let me write a letter saying that I made this a year before
Or
it came out.
No, but then they could look at like ink absorption and
Ink
shit
absorption.
like that.
Also, are postage stamps dated?
No, but
Some of them might be.
designs. The designs are cataloged for when they came out.
So you'd
there you
sign
go.
and you'd sign and seal an
Deliver.
envelope with a postage stamp, and you'd keep that like in your desk, and that could be admissible.
I feel like
in court
you'd
as
have
copy.
to go to because I think. Dude, I don't think they do that.
Because I learned this in
security
my
deposit boxes, do they?
in one of my
What?
college courses.
They don't archive. Archive. They don't like archive what you put in the box.
No, that'd be an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it would, but at the same time, like, I don't think they want people just hiding guns in it and shit.
Oh, people do that.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I don't think they want that. But I was just thinking, like, you could have to go to a place that, like to save it, basically,
Sure.
and just be like, this is an official
You know-
checking this document in.
You know, I actually have no idea, but I'm amazed more. You don't hear more about like storage unit robberies. I mean, those are
Yeah.
probably pretty secured and probably would be pretty hard to
Yeah, I feel like it's
smash
relatively...
and grab. But
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's like, I feel like nowadays, at least, I don't know, I guess maybe because I don't use a storage unit as much anymore, but I feel like I don't see many people using storage units. And if they are, they're probably just leaving shit that they don't plan on going back for until randomly they're like, oh fuck, let me empty out the storage unit.
I just thought of the idea because of Moon Knight, but
Oh, because somebody breaks in and steals the scarab.
yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that part. We won't go too far into that.
Oh, was that not?
Oh no, that wasn't
Yeah,
season. That was an
episode
episode 2.
two.
I was about to say season 2.
The archivist and ghostwriter get on that, Matt. And
It could be part of the a series.
That's true.
It could be like Suicide Squad. Not saying that like we would be a suicide. What are we? Some kind of
What
Suicide
would our
Squad?
like team up name be? Like
The employees.
what's something you?
But okay, sorry. And like I don't know. I feel like this is stupid, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So like you know how like Amanda Waller and like Nick Fury, like they're like the overseers. Mm-hmm. The overseer would just be named the employer.
No, the admin.
But I'm the admin.
No, right.
No. Wait.
Oh, you're saying my character brings everyone together?
You're the one who brings everyone together. So
because I can pull up the information.
Exactly.
Well, I was thinking in terms of like because you're like I'm thinking like museums. I'm thinking what's like the name of someone who'd be like the head of like
director.
Director. Probably director. That's probably the word I was looking for.
We're here just like workshopping like some like universe.
Yeah, we're workshopppping a new like story.
Better fit in Club Can't Handle Me by Flo Rida in that story.
Okay. So so you'll write it, and then we will do like Audible on it and voice it.
I think you guys would actually
an audiobook.
We're talking about so like, but if we make this universe, are we good guys or are we just a team of bad guys?
That's a solid question.
Like.
Okay.
Well, I guess you could be like a Robin Hood.
Right.
I mean, his would be a little bit harder to go for.
I mean, I'm killing.
But it could be
people...
like Dexter, where like you're killing the serial killers kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, or like you're only killing bad guys.
Yeah, then that's just Dexter.
Yeah, but it could be different.
Just Dexter with an added step.
Just Dexter with extra steps.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, we're coming up with all these creative ideas for like murder stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say for death and destruction.
I think you guys would actually be really interested in. There's the guy who made like Fate and like all those other like.
The creator of Fate.
The
definition, like the word.
The Fate series.
I know what you're talking about.
One of the earliest series that he wrote was this like novel series called Garden of Sinners, and it's like all set in like 1990s Tokyo, and it's just like these people working to solve these weird paranormal events, typically involving people who are espers or like have some kind of weird psychic powers. There's like a woman who's like a mage who has like her like whole specialty with magic is that she's like a puppet maker. She creates like magical like puppets and she can even make like very lifelike prosthetic limbs because like one of the main characters has a prosthetic limb.
She's Sasori from Naruto.
Kinda, yeah. But she's also like I think I mentioned when I talked about this series before because I remember that when I mentioned that her job is kind of like collecting
an archivist, so to speak.
Well, she was kind of like oftentimes a lot of episodes like she'll be. I remember at one point she collects or she bid at an auction for this old this really old Ouija board that because you know in this universe obviously there's all kinds of like magic and old items, and she like spent a shit ton of money on it and so it was funny because she like basically like couldn't pay the main character. Like, I can't pay you this week because I spent all my money
on this Ouija board.
And I was basically saying that she kind of has a job as like something of an archivist of like old magic antiquities, and they're like constantly broken. And Colin,
she owns an antique store. Yeah, is what you're telling me.
But when I described it, Colin was just like, yeah. So she basically has no money. That sounds about right.
That sounds about her
profession.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
And then like this guy who's a pretty normal dude, but he's just kind of working for this woman because one of his like the woman he works alongside. This woman named Ryogi Shiki is this esper with like multiple personalities who has who has this ability. There's a thing in the Fate universe called Mystic Eyes. These different eyes with different superpowers, and hers are the Mystic Eyes of Death Perception, which says she can see lines.
But you said depth perception.
That's
It's
the
like
thing.
beforehand, she just has no depth perception. She's just knocking into shit.
But exactly, like
And then
that,
she got these eyes, and then she has perfect depth
Yeah.
perception.
it's a play on depth perception where she has depth perception. She can see these lines on every object and
remember
living
you telling me
thing.
about that,
Yeah,
yeah.
and if she traces a knife along those lines, she can essentially bifurcate or cut anything. And because she can see the flaws in creation. And so every movie is either a backstory about the characters or it's them trying to solve like a mystery. I remember the first one I saw was when Demolition D, the old YouTuber that we used to watch, he occasionally would stream like movies on this random site that I don't remember what it is. And he streamed one of the movies, and it was the first time I ever saw it. It's about this woman who, it starts with her getting assaulted, and the whole film is her trying to kill the people who assaulted her.
Okay.
She's this girl who she couldn't feel anything. She could never feel pain until she suddenly started to feel pain. And it's like,
Why does this sound very familiar?
I think I might have talked to you about
probably
it in
told
the
me
past.
about this
But
before.
she's like losing her mind, and this pain triggers her to activate her psychic abilities, and she essentially starts brutally murdering and trying to hunt down all the women, all the men who assaulted her. And because she thinks that if she does that, she can stop the pain and go back to not feeling anything.
Right.
But there's actually something more going
Ooh.
on, and they're trying to figure out what it is.
You have to watch the movie to find out.
There's all kinds of like really cool like world building about like I've talked in the past about how something that's really cool to me is any story that tries to take like magic or modern fantasy and says like, yeah, but what if it was like cooler? Like what if
What if it was like cool? What if it was like not bad?
like how realistically run could this world be? Like if there's a secret society like with like a bureau of like
Like a Ministry of Magic.
exactly, it's kind of like Harry Potter is kind of like the closest in Western media that we've got to like that kind of modern fantasy where it's like, yeah, it's still secret societies,
Right.
but they still have these very rigid governmental hierarchies.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the way that Ben, like our friend Ben, constructs like D&D stuff. He really goes deep into thinking about how the worlds work because he has like if you give him a notebook and a desk to work at, if he has spare time, he's going to be writing about world building and probably constructing like, yeah, this is the hierarchy of this like fantasy world's Department of Commerce. That's what he would do. And I envy that a lot because I try to think about that stuff, but like I feel like I don't like. I feel like some of the writers that I love make me question how much I know about how the world works.
Right.
You know, we leave like college and we're just like nowadays and we're just like, well, how do taxes work? Like, how does all this shit work? I feel like I need to deep dive certain topics to know more about
to
how
actually
to
be able to write about that.
to know how to write. Like the closest I've gotten is that I have an entire Google document that's just for the stories that I'm writing. I wrote essentially this fictional hierarchy for like the public security in this in this fictional futuristic version of like France. It's just like I created like 8 different divisions of like public security. And I was super proud of it too. I was just like, oh shit, I put way too much time into this.
Well, that's the thing, is that if you're ever going to get in depth into something, you have to, and I feel like that's why a lot of authors don't do that, is because at a certain point, unless you're really trying to flesh out like an entire fucking like world, like really flesh it out, and you have like a lot of time to flesh it out.
You don't want to be Tolkien that describes every blade of grass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that, you know, like, if you go into too much detail, you start to lose the, you know, the audience, I feel like.
Right.
Where if you don't go into enough, then they're kind of like, whoa, what am I, you know? Because at least for books, for me, when I'm reading, I'm imagining the world. I'm trying to build the world. So if the author doesn't describe enough for me, I'm building my own world.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just taking stuff from other games and shit, because that's just how my brain is pulling things that it knows. So, if you don't describe your world enough, it's going to be hard to, know.
And sometimes I use real-world templates. Like, when I was creating this, I was using Japanese public security as, like, a template. So for some of these, like, Section 3 electoral supervisory...
Okay.
Investigation into the affairs and activities of political parties. Section 2, intergovernmental affairs. Investigations into government branches and other sections of public security. Section 1, crisis response. Section 4, public health. Section 5, international affairs. Section 6, organized crime suppression. And Section 7, special operations.
Oh, I thought you said 8.
Huh?
So you said 8 sections, sir? That was only 7.
I think I plan to make more.
I plan to continue them.
You know what's weird is I looked up this different sections from Ghost in the Shell, because in Ghost in the Shell, like, the main characters are part of Section 9. I remember looking it up, and I remember there were some sections that didn't have wikis, and it's like, well, what do they do? What do they do?
Well, that's where you kind of, depending on the author, they either are going to focus on it or they won't, because they either focus on it because they need to, or they focus on it because they have, like, the universe itself is already fleshed out enough that they're like, okay, I can actually expand upon it.
Yeah. So the Ghost in the Shell wiki, they have, they have Public Security Bureaus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9.
Oh, okay. And that's kind of what I hate when they do stuff like that for certain things. I can't even think of something off the top of my head, but I know there's something out there where, like, they'll be like, team 34, and then you're like, okay, well, who's team 1 through 33? And then, like, you never learn anything about
Exactly.
them.
It's kind of like whenever I name military units in stories, I just pick a random number.
See, you just gotta find a cool number.
Yeah. Like, so here, there's Public Security Section 1, which is known as officially as the Special Service Squad, responsible for conducting investigation on most criminal cases
But not
in Japan.
all.
Yeah. Section 2, under the control of Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare. Section 3 acts similarly to the American Drug Enforcement Agency.
But
so
not the same.
So it's basically the DEA. Section 4 is a Special Forces military unit in the Japanese Ground Self-Defense Force, commonly known as the Rangers. Section 6 is an intelligence, surveillance, and it's basically the CIA. And Section 9, the main characters, hence the bolded words here. Public Security Section 9, also referred to as Section 9, is an intelligence department under the Ministry of Home Affairs in the original movie. In the original movie, it's known as the Shell Squad or Security Police Section 9.
So they're Homeland Security.
Yeah, they're basic Homeland Security. But with an emphasis on cybersecurity, since obviously this is a future with, like, everybody can have their brains hacked, basically.
It's like cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a reason why one of the myriad reasons I was a little disappointed with Cyberpunk 2077 is that I wish that there was, I don't know, I like the power fantasy of Cyberpunk, but I also like Ghost in the Shell more because it's the power fantasy of being like a cyber cop. Like futuristic.
Well, that was the thing, is that
cop.
they kind of, at least for Cyberpunk, they kind of let you believe you might be able to do that, but then you weren't able to do it at all.
Well, I remember, because you remember the very first trailer they released for Cyberpunk 2077?
Oh, no.
Well...
oh, no, yeah, on the, like, the train and shit where you're just
Well,
walking.
I'm talking about the reveal trailer
You mean
from, like,
the gameplay?
The reveal trailer from, like, 2013.
Yeah, when he's on the train. The dude's on the fucking train and he's, like, walking on the train.
No, it's like the woman
No.
dodging
You're
the
thinking
bullet.
of the gameplay trailer.
That's not gameplay, though. That was just a...
You're thinking of the... You're thinking of the announce... You're thinking of when they announced it at E3, when they revealed it. I'm talking about when they announced that the game was being made in 2014. In, like, 2014 or 2015.
I don't think...
But
remember
but in that trailer there was like gunshots, like there was like police shooting at this woman with the mantis blades, this like woman who just like murdered someone. She had like cyber psychosis or whatever the hell that thing was called. And so that trailer happened, and that kind of made me think, well, there's a woman who's just murdered a bunch of people, and then the trailer ends with her being part of the unit. So you'd think that part of the game would allow you to be a cyber police officer.
You think a lot of things should be in that game.
Technically, they did have that as a side quest. It just wasn't that fleshed out.
Right, exactly.
Because it was literally
it was just a side quest.
It was just that. Well, there's multiples of it, but literally all the side quest is there's people with cyberpsychosis. I believe they can be saved.
Yeah.
As a police officer, you should help me save them. That's basically what it is.
And then there's actually a side quest. I don't know if you ever found it. You go into the clothing shop, and then when you're done shopping there, you literally, like, somebody with that cyberpsychosis walks in and starts tearing up the place.
Oh.
And you have to, like, survive. And then the... what was whatever the super police were called in Cyberpunk 2077? They show up.
Never actually. Oh.
Yeah. They show up.
Oh, the insurance agency, basically.
Yeah. And
I don't
then
remember what they're called.
the woman from the trailer shows up. She like helps you out and kills it, and then you can talk to her afterward, and she's like a super bitch. Like,
well, she had cyberpsychosis.
I know, but then like she like talks about like, yeah, don't you just love killing people? It's like super edgy, and
Well,
I'm just
because
like,
she had cyber. Honestly,
know.
that's like the whole. That's the kind of downside to how they played like really into the whole like cyber like. Really like gritty cyberpunk thing is that it just made it come off as super edgy, and that was kind of like the unfortunate thing is that the whole game just felt like them like overly trying to make things edgy.
a little bit, yeah, you're right.
But
It's a shame.
it is. But hey, they're supposed to be updating it still, so maybe they'll pull Witcher 3 and actually make it better. Because I know Witcher 3 in the beginning when it first launched also had a lot of issues, but I don't think to this level. But still.
No, definitely not to that level.
They had more of had performance issues.
I'm curious what they'll do with the next Witcher game since they kind of announced it.
Yeah, and they're doing
feel like,
Real 5.
But I get worried that it's too much of a rebound. Like they're going to capitalize on the love people have for Witcher to try and make us forgive them for Cyberpunk. And I worry that the game won't be as good, especially if they try to have us like if it's a create your own character type thing. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know. I
Since
haven't played Witcher 3. So.
Since they finished Geralt's story, basically, it's like I don't know what they would
Unless
do.
you play a Siri.
That's
That-
also what I've heard. Yeah.
I would like that. I would like to play as Siri.
We'll see it.
I mean, you might not have as many abilities.
Oh, you're gonna have more. There's
What?
a few parts where you could play as Siri. They were just fucking flashing all over the place.
Right. Because I mean, she had teleportation, but she didn't have as many of like the potion stuff because she didn't go undergo the same trials
Right.
as the rest of the Witchers.
Well, you
This
could
is gonna be
argue
her
that
finishing
this
try.
is spoilers for Witcher 3, but
Oh yeah, the game that I've tried to play like 5 times
Remember
in
they,
the
like,
last
pump-
6 years.
pumped her full of mutagens to get her out of that weird baby thing.
Yeah.
So you could argue maybe they could
No, but that wasn't her. That was to
Oh.
get her wizard friend out because he was the guy who was he was the guy who got
that's
polymorphed.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're wrong.
So yeah, she didn't technically because she was in the dreamland with all the fucking dwarves.
Dwarves and not in Cyberpunk, but in
Maybe
Cyberpunk.
the
But they didn't actually
Dreamland
put her in
changed her.
Cyberpunk. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a
magazine?
Yeah, something
with
like
her,
that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
They could have at least had like a cute little side quest or something where she goes through a portal at the end of it or something.
I mean, either that or just like more mentions of her. Like I feel like you didn't have to show her,
Right.
Yeah.
unless they show her like actually in like cyberpunk like dress up and shit.
People have like created her like
Well, yeah, of course they have.
100% in the character creator. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is when I'm gonna put the evil Tobey Maguire theme like right here. Dun, 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 dun.
No, that's where you put the archivist song.
Which
It's
is
called
that.
Can't Handle Me Right Now.
In any other movie, it would be like piano music or something like that. But
It
it's
could
like,
be a piano version of it.
but instead it's just like
Just get a really good piano.
it's just gonna be like an establishing shot of like a library with the lights turned off, but you see the light coming in from the window, and it's zooming in, and like, and again, in any other movie, at the end of the hall, you'd hear someone playing the piano, but instead, it's Mr. Steele,
The archivist.
Yeah.
and you just hear.
It just gets closer. Jesus.
It'd be like American Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can see it.
Well, thank you all very much for listening. For the fucking 4th week in a row, I forgot to actually introduce us. I have been Matthew Lundeen. I've been joined here by
Flowrider Steel. That was shitty. That was sucked. Don't listen to that.
Michael the admin.
God damn it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think just like old times, I'm gonna introduce myself again because I don't know if I did it, which I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't think I did the full thing. Matthew Magnus Lundeen.
Hey!
You can follow us on Instagram, The Critical Spectrum, and on Twitter @The Critical Spectrum.
Maybe eventually on TikTok.
Maybe eventually on TikTok.
I'll put maybe some funny snippets up there.
Yeah. Other links will be in the description. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
On the flip side.
On the side B.
We're on the side B.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Just end the show.
Yeah,